Hello everyone, how's it going on? This is Akhtar. Today we're gonna build a to-do list using PHP and MySQL database. First of all, I'll show you a quick demo of the project. So this is the to-do list. Let's create a new task here. Let's create another one, and we can delete and we can mark complete. So this is the projects we are gonna create. This is a quick project, so let's do it. Before that, please subscribe to my channel if you are new to the channel so that you can get all the updates. To run a PHP program, we need a local server. I'm using Jump that provide a local server to run PHP program. So let's open Jump control panel. So here we will have to start Apache server and MySQL database server. Let's start. Alright, now we'll have to create the projects inside the htdocs folder, which is located inside the Jump folder. Let's create the project folder here. Let's name it to-do list. Now let's open this project using a code editor. We are using Visual Studio Code here. So let's open the projects from that specific folder. So on Jump htdocs, and the name of the project is to-do list. Let's create a new file here, index.php, and let's put some boilerplate code here. Let's change the title to to-do list, and let's create a container division here. Here we'll put a title h1 to-do list, and then a form. The method will be post because we'll send post request to the server. So action will be the same file. I'll get back to that later. Now we'll create a new text field inside the form. So input, the type will be text. Let's give it a name of task and a placeholder. So the placeholder will be enter new task. Alright, now we need a button. So this button will be for the submission. So button type will be submit, and name will be add task. Okay, now let's have a quick look in the browser. So we'll have to go to localhost, then to-do list. So here this is how it looks. So this is not looking very good. We'll have to add some CSS to look it better. So let's add some CSS. First of all, we'll have to create the CSS file here. So let's name it style.css. Let's add some basic styling on the body. So the font family will be Arial, and default one sans serif. Then we can add a background color, a gray background color. Then we can add padding of 0 pixel, margin 0 pixel, and the height will be the full height of the screen, so we can use 100 VAs. Then it will be, the display will be flex, so that we can make the content vertically centered and horizontally centered. So align items center and justify content center. Now let's add some styles on the container. Let's add some padding of 20 pixel and background color will be white. Then border radius we can add 4 pixel. Okay, now on the H1 we can make it center, so text align center. Now we can check it in the browser to see how it looks. However, I will have to link this CSS file with our index file first. So let's add the tag in the head tag, link CSS. So the file name is style.css. Now it is linked. Let's see how it looks. Let's refresh. Alright, looking better, but I forget to add the task on the button, so let's fix it. So here we can add task. Now it should be fixed. Now let's add some styling for the input field and button. So the input field, the padding will be 5 pixel, and for the button the padding will be 5 pixel top bottom and 10 pixel around. Also add a background color. I had saved a background color somewhere, so let's copy it, 28A745, and then let's add the color. The color will be white, the text color, and cursor will be pointer. Border radius 4 pixel, and there will be no border, so border 0 pixel. Alright, now let's have a look. Okay, looking better. We can add a hover effect on the button. So button hover, background color will be changed to, again I had saved somewhere, 218838. Alright, now let's check. Let's refresh. So yeah, the hover effect is working. So the form looks great. Now the next step is to create the database using the PHP MyAdmin. So let's do it. We can go to the PHP MyAdmin using localhost/PHP MyAdmin. Here let's create new, and we can name the database as to-do list. Now click create. So we need a table. Let's name it task, and number of columns will be 3. We just need 3 columns. The first one will be ID. It will be integer and auto incremented. The next one will be the task itself. It will be bar variable character, and the length will be 255. The third one will be status, which is actually whether the task is completed or pending. So in this case we can also put variable character, the length 128, and the default as defined. We can put pending as default. Now click save. Alright, now our database and table are ready. Now we'll have to add the necessary PHP code to save the data in the database. So let's go to our index.php file. So as you see, we have put index.php on the action attribute. So we'll have to write our PHP code on the same file. So let's do it. we need to keep the PHP code inside the PHP tag. First of all, we will have to connect with the database. We can do that using creating a new object of the class name MySQLi. So new MySQLi, and we will have to pass some arguments. The first one is the host name, which is localhost, then the database username. So as you are using XAMPP, here the database username is the root by default, and by default there is no password, so we have kept the password empty. Then we need the name of the database, which is to-do list. As you know, we have put the database name as to-do list, so we have put it here. Now we can keep it inside a variable connection, or CONN for short. Now we'll have to check whether or not the connection is successful. We can do that using a property of the connection object. So let's put it inside if statement. If connection, the property is connect error. So if there is any error, we will stop the code execution and we will show a message to the users: connection failed, and we can concatenate the connect error property error. Okay, now we can check it. Let's change something here. First of all, let's see if there is any error message. Let's refresh it, and we don't see any error message. If we change something here for testing purpose, let's change the database name. Let's remove the T and let's refresh again. We see an error here, and we see connection failed, and the error is here. Now let's fix it again. Now the error should disappear. Yeah. Now we'll have to check whether or not this button is clicked. To do that, we can use is set method inside the if statement. So if is set, and we can grab the button click using the post array variable. So post, it's a global array variable where the array key will be this one, the name we put here at task. So let's copy it and let's put it here. So if the button is clicked, we'll grab the task. So let's store it in a variable. Again, we will have to use the post array variable to grab the data. So here the array key will be the task, the value we have put here. So let's copy it. Let's put it here. And now let's display it. Let's test now. Let's put a task here. So we got the task. That means it is working. Now we'll have to add this task in our database. So let's remove the echo statement here. We'll have to use a method called query, which is a method of the connection object, to insert the data. So let's do it. Connection, the method name is query, and in the query we'll have to put the SQL query. So let's do it. Insert into the table name. The table name is tasks, and then the column name. So we'll have to just insert the data in one column, which is task, and then there will not be any colon here, and then the values. So here the value will be this one, the one we have collected here. So as it is a string, we'll have to put it inside the quotation task. Okay, and after that we'll have to redirect users to the index page after the successful insertion. So header location index.php. Now let's have a look. Let's refresh it and put task1 at task. So let's see if it is on the database. So we see a new task here. That means it worked fine. Now we'll have to collect this data so that we can show it in the task list. So let's do it. Here we'll have to execute another SQL query using the query method. So let's store it into a variable. Connection, and the method name is query. Here we'll have to put the SQL query, which is select star from the table name, which is task, and we will order it by ID in descending order. So we have all the data in the result variable. Now we'll have to somehow show this data in the HTML. So let's create an unordered list here. Inside the unordered list, we'll have to run a PHP while loop. So let's start the PHP code again. While, as long as it will get the data, the PHP while loop will run. So it will be like this, result, and it will grab the data as associative array. So we can do that using a method called fetch SOS and let's end the while loop and while, and here we can create a list item where we will show the task. So we can echo, let's start the PHP code again, echo. So let's store actually this into a variable called row so that we can use it later. So here we can use it row, and the array key will be the name of the column. As you know, the column name is task. Alright, now let's have a look. Let's refresh it. Yeah, we see the task here. That means it is working fine. Now we'll have to add the actions beside the task. So let's do it. Let's create a new division here named actions. Let's also put this into a strong tag. Okay, let's add the actions. We will add them as links. So first one will be complete and the second one will be delete. And for the first one, the link will be index.php, the same file. And here we'll send the ID with the complete variable, complete equals to, again we'll have to use the PHP code, echo row ID. So we'll send the ID of that particular task. Now let's copy the same code for the complete, for the delete actually. Let's change it to delete. Let's copy this link. Let's put here. So here instead of complete, it will be delete. Now let's have a quick look. So we see the task here. Now if you click complete, you see it goes to index.php with a argument complete and the data and the id of the task. Also, if you click delete, it goes to delete with id 1. Now we can use these things here on the PHP code. So here we'll have to check whether it is delayed or complete. So let's do it. Again, we'll have to use the if statement with the set method. Set, in this case it will be a get method, because we are sending the data as get method here by the URL. So here it will be get global array variable get. The first one can be delayed, so we can check the delete first. Now if we set get delayed, then we will get the data, will collect the data, will collect the id. So id equals to get delete. Okay, now here we will have to run the SQL command using the query, again query method. Delete from the table name tasks, where id equals to id. Now let's check if it works or not. So actually I deleted by mistakes. So let's go to the to-do list again and let's create a new task and click delete. Yeah, it is deleted, and if we check here on the database, there are no new data here. So let's store data again. So our delayed action is working, but we'll have to redirect user to the index page again. So header, we'll have to use the header function with the location index.php. All right, so delete is done. Now let's copy this code for the complete action. So here instead of delete, it will be complete. So let's remove this command, and it will be update tasks set status. So we'll change the status. Set status equals to completed. Let's use single quotation. Completed, where id equals to this id. So here id equals to id. All right, so again header location index.php. Now let's see if it is working or not. Refresh and mark it as complete. Now if we check here the status, let's click here. The status should be changed to completed, as you see here. That means it is working fine. Now here on our list item, here we'll add a class name. So we'll grab it dynamically from the database. So row status, we'll have to echo it so that we can use it in the CSS. All right, now let's check. So if we check here, you see the class name is completed. Now let's add a new task here, task 2. So now if we inspect the element here, on the task 2, it is showing pending because we did not mark it complete. So we can use it now on the CSS. So let's add some CSS code. Let's remove the dot from the unordered list. List style type none. Also let's remove the padding and margin. Padding 0 pixel, padding 10 pixel top bottom and 0 pixel around, actually 20 pixel. Also margin will be 0 pixel, and on the list item let's keep the actions and the task side by side. To do that, you can use display flags, align items center, justify content space between. Let's give it a background color F5, 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 some padding maybe 10 pixel. Alright, let's have a look now. Yeah, let's add some margin bottom 10 pixel. Yeah, let's remove this underline from the action. So ul lia text decoration none, and when you hover over them, text decoration underline. Now let's have a look. Here it's gone, but you'll have to add some margin between the actions. So here let's add margin left 10 pixel. How about now? Yeah, looks good. Now whenever you mark a task completed, it will have to have a line through on the task. To do that, we can target this class name here, the class name that we added on the list, this one. So let's, whenever there is completed class name, li.completed, will text decoration, we'll change the text decoration to line through, and we will also change the color to 777. Alright, now let's have a look. So the task 1 is showing as completed and it is showing the line through. Now let's test again. Let's create another task 3. Let's remove the task 3. Here it is removed, and let's mark the task 2 as completed. Here it is showing completed. So I think everything is working fine. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Also please give it a thumb if you like my video, and also please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.